Hello friends, welcome to Cook with Meghna, where I get recipes from my kitchen to yours. Today we are making a classic Italian dessert which is called Tiramisu. Authentically, this dessert is made with mascarpone cheese, eggs, wine, cream and sponge fingers. But I've made it today without wine and eggs so that the vegetarians can also make it and enjoy the flavors. As this is such an easy dessert to make and tasty to eat, so I want everybody to enjoy it. Let's start with the ingredients first. We'll see what all we require for this. We need whipping cream, we need mascarpone cheese or Philadelphia cream cheese, anything would do. Then we require condensed milk, we require 4 tablespoons of instant coffee powder, and then we require vanilla sponge fingers. These come in eggless also. Now let's start preparing our tiramisu. First of all, we'll add 2 teaspoons of water in the coffee powder that we've taken and dilute it to make a thick concoction. We would be using a little bit of this into the mixture of the cream cheese and the cream mixture, and rest we'll use to dip the sponge fingers. Now that this is diluted nicely, we'll keep it aside and begin with the whipping of the cream. One very important tip: whenever you have to whip cream for any kind of dessert, the vessel you will be whipping it in should be chilled in the freezer for at least an hour. This helps the cream to whip nicely, and the whisk also can be kept in the freezer too. I'm using my stand mixer here. If you do not have that, you can always do it in any vessel you have, but make sure you put it in the freezer 1 hour before beginning to whip. Now we'll pour in our whipping cream, which also I had chilled in the fridge. Make sure that should not be kept in the freezer because then it will be too liquidy, as putting the cream in the freezer would lead it to form ice crystals in the water content it has. So make sure you do not put the cream in the freezer. Cream goes in the fridge, the vessels goes in the freezer. Let's start whipping it. Now first, when you start whipping the cream, it has to be done on a lower speed. If you're using a stand mixer, use the low speed first. If you're using an electric mixer, again low speed first. And if you're doing it by hand, then you can control it accordingly. Also, we need to keep a close eye on it once it starts to come together. Our cream has reached the soft peak stage. Now we'll stop the mixer and put our coffee concoction into it, which is 2 tablespoons of the diluted mixture. That we'll put the condensed milk, the whole quantity mentioned. I would like to give one more tip here for whipping the cream nicely. Along with keeping the bowl in the freezer in which you're whipping the cream, you can take another bigger bowl, put lots of ice in it and put this bowl over it. Basically, whip the cream over an ice bowl, which helps you to whip the cream in a much better way and a much faster way. It also makes the cream reach the stiff peaks that we require really faster. Now let's get back to the mixing of the whipping cream with the condensed milk and the coffee mixture. After it reaching the soft peaks, we have to be really vigilant on the whipping of the cream as it tends to curdle really fast. When you begin, you have to start with the slow speed of the whisk, then you increase the speed to whip it nicely, and then again you slow it down. Mix the condensed milk and the coffee mixture just for few seconds. Now we'll add our cream cheese, the whole mixture, and then again start mixing it only for few seconds again. We do not want to over whip. This would take only 30 to 40 seconds to reach stiff peaks. Our tiramisu cream is ready now. Whole whipping process, if followed like this, does not take more than 5 minutes. The exact consistency we want for our tiramisu cream. Let's start assembling the tiramisu. Now in the remaining coffee mixture, add little warm water, dilute it further and pour it to a bigger bowl. Add more water to it, around 1 to 1.5 cups. The water should be warm. I added hot water and then I diluted it with a little cold water. Now our coffee mixture is ready. Take your bowl in which you'll be setting the tiramisu. Take your vanilla sponge fingers, just touch it with the coffee water, making sure you're not dipping them too much as they become really soft very fast. So we just have to touch it in the coffee water. We'll align and make a layer in the glass dish which we have taken, evenly leaving no space empty. Over this, we'll put our tiramisu cheese mixture, which will be around 1/2 inch thick. It also has to be layered in an even and uniform way. Spread it nicely from edge to edge, covering the whole surface. Once done, we'll repeat the biscuit layer, same as we did for the first layer. This is done. Let me show you from the side how these 2 layers would look. Let's place our second layer of the biscuits. One thing we have to take care about in this layer is when we are touching the biscuits in In the coffee water, we have to shake off any extra liquid which comes along with the biscuits, as we do not want it to flow out over the cheese mixture, as it can spoil the cheese layer underneath. Once done with this biscuit layer also, you can put the rest of the mixture over it and make another layer of the tiramisu cream. I would be doing in a little different way. I'll just put one big dollop of it, put a thin layer over it, rest of the mixture we'll pipe on it. Let me show you how. Now this is done. Let me again show it to you from the side as to how it looks. Let's begin with the piping of the rest of the mixture. Take a glass and a piping bag. I have taken a piping nozzle which is flat and round. If you do not have it, you can do it without the nozzle too. Put the nozzle in the bag and put the bag over the glass. This just makes it a little easier to fill the cream in the piping bag. Pour the remaining mixture into the piping bag so that we can start piping. Now here you can use any nozzle of your choice also, which is all up to your creativity. Or if you do not want to do this step, you can just pour all the cream mixture onto the second layer of the biscuits and put it same as the first layer, even and smooth. Let's start piping. Just trying to make it look a little pretty. Cover all the empty spaces. Done with this too. Let's see it from the side again. After finishing this layer, dust a little cocoa powder all around the top layer, covering all the surface again. Once done, we'll put it in the refrigerator for at least 4 to 5 hours to set it nicely. Also, if you want to set it in a glass with single portions for everyone, you can do that too. Let me show you quickly how to do that also. If you are arranging it in a glass, it also needs to set in the refrigerator for at least 3 hours so that we get a creamy and nicely set mixture. After 3 hours, it looks something like this. 5 hours later, the tiramisu set in the glass dish looks something like this. It looks really beautiful and tastes equally good. One last thing I want to tell you here is tiramisu is a very lightly sweetened dessert. So if at all you want to increase the sweetness in it, you can add little more condensed milk or even add around 4 tablespoons of icing sugar while whipping the cream. If you like the video, then please give a thumbs up to it. Also, please like, share and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so till now. And don't forget to hit the bell icon for regular updates. Please share it with your friends too. See you again with a new recipe very soon. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.